Today's May 11th, and this is the Investitute podcast. A lot of stuff going on the board. But before we get to that, John, God, another fight on a plane. I think every podcast we started off this week has been about a fight or something, an altercation.
It's crazy, Andrew. I mean, this was a Southwest Airlines, which, you know, some of us might have thought that would have been where it started. That because Southwest cater, it's more or less a bus in the sky. You might think that the passenger's there, but no. It started with really the United fight when they dragged off Dr. Dow, and now virtually everybody at American, hitting some lady with a stroller.
That was
Spirit
American.
Airlines.
Yeah, you got this down. DAL was Hawaii. DAL was Hawaii, throwing the family off. United was Dr. Dow getting beat up, punched, lost his teeth. Southwest now is wait, Spirit, my favorite. They canceled the flights.
SAVE.
That was a full brawl,
and the people went nuts. Oh yeah.
That's actually my favorite.
I liked that one. It's a matter of time, Andrew. I'm hearing rumors already that the UFC is going to be carrying these fights on these planes because it's obviously very popular. And who better than either the UFC or Vince McMahon over at the WWE to say, you know what? These guys look like they know what they're doing, and it's a real crowd pleaser.
So if you have a favorite fight, leave a comment in the messages.
That's right.
Tell us what your favorite plane fight is or altercation, and tell us why.
Love it.
Oh, speaking of feedback, we're doing a Q&A tomorrow with you in the office, right?
Yep.
And I got
And if you want to send in your comments, do that on either YouTube or iTunes, and subscribe, of course. But then leave a comment or a question, and we'll address it tomorrow.
Okay. So yeah, I'll be gathering those. So that's a house note. Taking up the thing. I don't think we should be talking about Comey. There's nothing really more that we can add to that, is there?
Not really. I'll just say what I said on air, which was the only person that thought he was doing a good job. Well, there were probably two people: his mom and himself. Those are the only two people that thought he was doing a good job. Because, whether it's the trolling that the president himself did, grabbing all those. We might have to have you run that montage, Andrew, of all the Democratic senators and House of Reps people saying how he should be fired. And this is, of course, that because of Hillary Clinton. And then when Trump said, which I don't believe is true, that was why he ultimately ended up firing him, was because of the Hillary Clinton email scandal. All of a sudden, they're all calling that this is the biggest, overreach by a president ever, and so forth and so on. BS. This guy was what the president said, a showboat, and he, quite frankly, couldn't find, couldn't do the job he was paid to do. His job is not to determine intent. That's not I would like to see that in the FBI director's job description, Andrew, where it says, well, Hillary didn't really intend to leak this stuff that would land anybody else, various military people and so forth, in the brig, not just for the day, for years. And yet, well, it wasn't her intent to do that. Doesn't matter what your intent is. You and I talked about it. It's kind of like, well, a bunch of money falls out of a Brinks truck. Andrew and John take the money, and we say, we're going to give this to a charity, but we know it's not ours. So because our intent was philanthropic with this money that fell out of a Brinks truck, it's not theft? Is that what you're telling me, Andrew? I mean, the job of the FBI director is, to investigate, and it's not to determine intent. Just as Ms. Yates over there with when she was the acting attorney general, it wasn't her job to determine whether or not something is constitutional. That is something left up to the Supreme Court. There are different branches of government for a reason, and she is not in the judicial branch. as far as that is concerned. That's not her determination. She is judicial because, she's technically on the law enforcement side of things, but her job is not to determine if something's constitutional or not. You run that up to the Supreme Court and so forth.
All I got to say is my premiums on my insurance are going up as we speak just because of the inaction of Congress. And
well,
whatever.
Aetna is now out of all, I believe, all U.S. health exchanges.
And they want to talk to me about Russians.
Yeah,
talk to me about Russians as I pay my bill, my premium every 6 months, okay? Just let me pay you in rubles. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, I want to move on. It's giving me a headache. I'm getting agita.
It's going to die if they don't do anything about it. It's just going to die.
Good.
And it's going to be even more expensive to fix.
That's fine. I don't care.
At this point, they don't really care.
I don't either.
They don't care about the citizens that elected them.
Failure is good. Okay, so what are we trading? A Snap. My God. I mean, does that come as a surprise to anybody, Snap? Not really.
Well, late in the day yesterday, well, actually not all that late, at 11:30 in the morning Central Time, Mike Yamamoto and the guys at Investitute had unusual activity in Snap puts. And unfortunately, I did not get that. I also, Andrew, did not get in the final minutes of trading, the final 5 minutes yesterday, there were big buys of Snap puts, big buys. I'm sure the people who bought them won't be investigated, but they aren't the sort of buys that just come randomly in the final 5 minutes of trading. So we'll have to see, but I did buy Snap on the dip last night. I'm happy I did, of course, because it rallied $1.50 from where I bought it. And I did sell puts this morning, and I already cashed out of those puts. But, full disclosure, folks, I was long Snap calls into the earnings announcement, and those went to zero, lost money on those. So fighting my way back from that and Macy's, where, I was on the wrong side of both trades. The good news is I lost 60 cents in Macy's, which is $60 per spread, and about the same in Snap. And I could have lost, $4 and $5 if I was in the stock. So I'd much rather have the limited risk trade in the options.
I'm not trading that, but I did get enjoyment out of seeing Jim Cramer slam the CEO of the company. I thought that was kind of hilarious this morning. I had that with I had that with my coffee this morning. That was actually kind of fun.
I think Jim was exactly right. Evan Spiegel was an arrogant, whatever. Can he grow up? Zuckerberg did. Again, we just said this on halftime, but Zuck doesn't walk around in a hoodie anymore, does he? Remember when he was showing up at investment banks with a hoodie?
Oh, yeah.
And we were all saying, what planet is this guy on? Oh, I'm hip. I live out in California where things are cool and people wear hoodies. Okay.
You're in New York
Most
City,
of those
buddy.
people aren't running $40 billion companies on their way to several $100 billion companies. So anyway, Zuck grew up. Can Evan Spiegel grow up? Maybe, after losing $1 billion yesterday because his net worth dropped by $1 billion yesterday, Andrew. Maybe that'll focus because, as they say, nothing focuses the mind like the gallows. Mm-hmm. I'd add that nothing focuses your press conferences like A, a little humility, or B, practice before you get in there and deliver and say, yeah, we lost $1 billion, but it's not really that bad. Really? And our growth is flat. They were flattening in growth before they came public. I mean, that is a dog with fleas, that stock. But doesn't mean that you can't trade it, and that's what I did. But it was a one-day trade. I'm out.
Okay, what else are we trading?
Let's see, Pilgrim's Pride.
Yeah, I saw you talking about
we had
that.
Some unusual activity in that one. Yeah.
Dirty chickens.
Unusual activity there.
That's
Why not? Any trade that involves chickens.
What is that? PPC?
PPC, I believe.
Paul,
Charlie.
Yeah, somebody gave us crap for not knowing the airline call symbols.
We know them.
Peter, Charlie.
Yeah, Peter, Charlie. Or airline call symbols, really, I don't know them. UAL, DAL.
No, not those. No.
Spirit.
No, like A for Alpha, B
Oh,
for
you mean
Bravo.
military call letters?
Yeah,
military.
he called it airlines or whatever.
It's not. It's not airline. It's
Who
military.
cares? I don't care. I don't care anymore. I mean, today's Thursday. I don't give a shit day. And that's one. I don't care about Comey. I don't care about Snap. I don't care about to get ahead of whatever. I just care about my positions.
I gotcha. Well,
yeah, my stuff.
I care about that too.
Yeah, my stuff. So, which I'm doing okay. I still have my American Airlines. Speaking of airlines, still holding that.
God, they made such a big move this week too.
I know. I came back this
Which was
morning,
nice
but
to
I
see.
held. I almost bought some more. It's back at $1 from where it was. And I still have the AMD. But other than that, I'm not even trading this gold. Not even messing around with that.
No.
Nah. Just not. I like trading that nugget there for a while, but I'm just, I don't know. Drexion, screw them. Doing that reverse split. So what else did you guys have on the show? You had PPC, Pilgrim's Pride.
General Electric, GE.
Yeah, I like General Electric. Now, did Pete say he's
Yep.
buying that?
Pete was
You're doing
buying. No, he didn't buy it. He says he's been burned too many times in it. I bought it because it was cheap. It was cheap shot. It's 2-week shot.
I own the stock. It's one of those ones you just buy and put away. Take the dividend. It's going to be around anywhere from 28 where it is now to like 31 or 32. So it's not really a trading stock. It's kind of like a low growth mutual fund. They're diversified around the world, paid dividend. They're in all kinds of currencies.
Gotcha.
I think they got everything behind them. So I like GE. I like when there's activity in it, especially since I'm along the name. What else? Anything that's hitting your radar?
Let's see. What else was I trading today? Banging through there. Semantic. I thought the guidance, although bad, didn't justify the stock trading down to 31. So I was selling puts in there today. And we'll see if it holds 30 and 31. But it dropped about 6 or 7%. And, anytime you see a drop like that, you get a little fear pump, and then you have to decide, would I buy it? And if you say, yeah, I like it, but I like it at a lower price, well, that's what put selling is for. You obligate yourself to buy it at lower prices if it falls to there. And if it doesn't, you're Warren Buffett. You get to keep the premium. So I like to trade that way.
By the way, are you flying Jet Smarter on the way back?
Nope, going back on American today. I thought I'd try the Fight Club.
I was going to say you run the risk of not a risk, but you run the opportunity of being able to film something. So make sure you have your camera ready. That's the new side business, is to film something and then hopefully get paid for it. Actually,
I'm down with that.
Actually, what you should do? You should film yourself in first class, and then I'll put like a little cloud bubble above you of like Fight Club in the cloud bubble. So you're on the flight.
I'm thinking about Fight Club.
Yeah, you're dreaming about Fight Club. I was going to say do that for Jet Smarter,
All right, well, I can do that next Tuesday.
All right, man. Oh, yeah, don't forget.
All right,
you got to get your questions in for tomorrow's Q&A.
Yep. Put them into the YouTube in the comments sector or shoot us something over on iTunes. Remember, you can subscribe to both, and have a great day.